Hello guys, this is Roger69501 and welcome to my Futures and video recap. Well, I'm going to give you my thoughts about Futures and issue number 22. Check that out. That's on cover, huh? Well, I have to say that for me it was really good. In the middle of the story had like a turning point on the story, kind of like a shift direction. Which maybe I'm mistaken, but I will get to that in a bit. Well, the thing is that 5 years from now, that's the thing that has been confusing me on this Futures End, that some comic book says 5 years from now or 5 years in the future. Although it is the same thing, but I believe are not the same. Okay, 5 years from now, for me, it means that the story or it will happen 5 years from now. And 5 years in the future, well, it can change any moment. So I would say that some of these stories that says 5 years from now, I might believe that it might happen 5 years in the future. Now maybe not 5 years of us, 5 years in the comic book. So I don't know. That's just a thought. Maybe if I'm mistaken, let me know. So we start that people they're gonna rally against the government. Well, not against a protest to go into protest because the way that people and the government are treating the refugee from Earth 2. You see, when the refugee finally escaped from Earth 2 to arrive to our Earth, well, they came to our Earth, yes, but they also bring the war to our Earth. So most of the people and government blame them. A lot of people lost family, relatives, sons, father, whatever. So a lot of people are resent. They feel resented towards the Earth 2 refugee. Because of them, they blame them, bringing the war to our planet. Well, in a way, they did it in a direct way, but it's comic, which is fun. So kind of like they want to make sure that the Earth 2 they will be treated equally as a regular any person from the planet Earth. Because they want to give them a special ID, kind of like they will identify them as alien. Kind of they will give them like a ID card hanging off their neck that will say Earth 2. So they don't want to. They just want to everybody to be equal. But most people don't like it. Although I know. So and then from there we see that Lois Lane. Finally, she published her news about that Superman is Shazam, and Superman doesn't know whether he's still dead or alive. Nobody knows nothing about him, at least in the world. So, and then from there we move to Las Vegas. By the way, that is where I was born. So. On this comic book, we see like 4 new characters. At least for me, they are, except for 1. They're called. The name is codename Ops. Preemptive Strike Force Security Level Alpha 1. So I believe that their team name is Ops. And one of the members is Voodoo. If some of you doesn't know who Voodoo is, well, she was one of the main books that was published just right in the beginning of the New 52. It was one of the first comic book. It was one of the New 52 that was published back in 2012. Yep. So we see Voodoo here because she's part of a team. Although the story doesn't say much about what the team is about. So far the story says that they're being chased and they want to kill them. Why or what? We don't. And then from there we move to New York. where we see the Batman from the future talking with Plastique. They were talking about how things are in the future. So Batman says, well, mostly everybody's dead. And she said, yeah, well, how long or how far? And he says, well, 30 years. So actually here, Batman is explaining Mystique, basically the whole premise of the story, specifically with Brother Eye. You see, the thing is that android that he grabbed from the future to our time in the first issue of Future Sam, remember that? And eventually later on the story happened to have the face of Plastique. Well, the thing is that android was created by Brother Eye. You see, the Brother Eye was created for best of mankind, like everything else. There's always going to be somebody who's going to use it for the wrong thing, but basically everything's done for good of mankind. Yeah, I know. So the thing is that once that they create the Brother Eye, it developed himself, kind of like grow himself. It reminds me of the movie Terminator, kind of. So the machine saw that to protect humanity, you have to protect it himself. That means that the machine will decide who lives and who dies. I know, it reminds me of a movie. I don't know which one is. But this kind of like reminds me of a movie. So we get to find out about more or less what happened in the future, 30 years from now. Not 5, 30 years. So the thing is that on the story so far, Alfred, which happens to be the machine that is talking with Batman, he tells him, look, Brother Eye is being shut down. It's not working. Kind of like it's dead. And he said, well, how that machine can be dead? And the thing is that the memory or the personality of whatever is Brother Eye came to Earth, went down to Earth. Kind of like left his body. It came to Earth like in a shuttle. And he landed in Camus Island. So I believe that little kid, that little brat, what's her name? She had number 5. I wouldn't be surprised that she has the thing of Brother Eye. Because I'm not sure where that little brat called 5 come from. So the thing is that from there we go to outer space and we see that the team that supposed to be dead when they went searching for the Stonewatch, like Hawkman, Frankenstein, Artemis, well, they come from some android, as we can see here. And the thing is that we know how Frankenstein is. We say, well, I would like to see him eye to eye. And I will teach him, whoever that is. Actually, they call him here Brainiac. Frankenstein will teach him fear. And I say, well, so one of the androids says, well, you want that? Well, I think it's going to happen all the way around. But did you want to meet him? Okay, fine. You're going to meet him. And this happens to be Brainiac. So more or less, I'm not sure if this Brainiac is part of Brother Eye, because as far as I know from the beginning, thanks to Brother Eye that was created by Mr. Terrific, kind of like send a signal or did something that will attract Brainiac. That was way back in the beginning. I don't quite remember exactly what issue it was, but I think it was issue 10, 11. Just, I would say the first 5 or 6 issues of this series, they mentioned that so something about Brainiac, about Brother Eye, that he did something with that Brother Eye, and that Brother Eye did something that will attract the end of planet Earth, which happened to be 30 years from now. So maybe Brainiac is the one who controlling Brother Eye to do whatever supposed to do 30 years in the future. I don't know. I'm just wondering. So we get to see this giant brainiac. I have to say that looks very cool. And then from there, Black Adam shows up, like he's going to save the day, and that was the end of the story. That was it. The end of it was just like they chopped the end of it, black. That's how it felt. Not like other endings that kind of like have a cliffhanger. This ending was just like they just chop it. But other than that, it was a fun story. Really like it. It was fun. So far, the story is getting better. Yeah, there are some issues that are not too good. Okay, I can understand that. But overall, as a whole, it's really good. So I would give it 4 out of 5. Well, guys, this is it. Till then, bye.